Welcome to the PMBC meeting of July 12th, 2023. I'm going to try to share my screen here.
Don't disappear.
That's weird. Set. Share screen. Well, this is not going to work out so well. Anyway, the agenda is to approve the warrant. Let me see if I bring the warrant. So this warrant extra item on it from what I sent out earlier. Let's see if I can bring this up. Are you guys still there?
Yep.
Yep.
Because it's asking me to sign into the Zoom meeting again. Oh my goodness, what the hell's going on here?
Just read it off, Steve.
I'm trying to find out where I've lost my
Steve, would this help?
Okay, well, hang on a minute. Hi, Stacy.
There it is.
I think we have a quorum now. Yep. Thanks for calling. I mean, you're welcome to join in, but thanks for calling.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, great. Thanks, Stacy. Bye-bye. So do you guys see this?
Yep.
Yep, we do.
Okay, good. So we have a number of invoices here. Vertex for the month of May, LLB for the month of May. Oh, I should say Vertex for the month of May, $7,150.25. LLB Architects for the month of May, $143,478.52. Commodore, this is their fourth invoice. It was for April of this year, $8,333. And then we go back to their third invoice, which was for March of this year, $33,332. And then Commodore's invoice for January of this year, $7,500. Commodore's invoice of December, $7,500. And okay, so then this is the one that was added, Commodore's invoice for May of this year for $8,335 for total warrant of $215,628.77. So are there any questions or comments?
Brian, were these the Commodore bills we were just sitting on these, or?
Yeah, and I apologize for there being such a backlog here. What happened is that the pre-construction contract really went back and forth multiple times between town council and with Commodore's council. We ended up having some snags and some indemnity clauses. It ended up sitting in town council's desk for a while. Once it all got figured out about a month ago, we circulated for signatures, and this was the earliest warrant we could get them on.
Thank you.
So is there a motion to approve the warrant?
I make a motion, we approve the warrant for $215,628.77 or 27 cents.
Looks like 77.
Yeah, it's 70. Yeah.
Is there a
I'll second that motion. I'll second that motion, Steve.
Okay, Brian seconds it. All in favor, Bob?
Bob Rumley, yes.
Brian,
Brian Pasquale, yes.
uh, uh, Bartlett,
Bartlett, yes.
and Steve Moore, yes. Okay, thanks for that. And see what the next
Minutes
agenda
for
item is here.
6:28.
So the meeting minutes of 6:28. I had started to make some changes or edits to that. I've not concluded that, so I'd like to defer that to the next meeting. And Shaker Lane feasibility study. Stacy's not here, but I did talk to Steve Mark today. The request for services was returned to this town with almost a total rewrite. I know I was going to share that with the committee, you know, after the last meeting, but it came back with some very substantial changes, suggested changes by the MSBA. And Steve, Mark, Ryan and I are going to have a meeting tomorrow morning around 10 o'clock to go through some of the items that we need to clarify. So that's the status on that. Library, Brian?
Yep, for a library update, the only thing left is just the payment of the last payment for the contractor. The PO was approved and amended. I've been working with Michelle to get that cut. Also been banging on the door of the architect for our lead status. He tells us he's checking in on a weekly basis to see when we will be hearing back from them. So I hope within the next few meetings we have this wrapped up with a bow on it, and we've submitted our final grant payment to the MBLC. This would be in addition to the additional funds that the MBLC had reached out to Sam, the library director, that they would be receiving. But at that point, then we would be closed out financially for this project.
So Brian, just to clarify, the contractor, final invoice for the contractor that you're referring to is for the electric charging stations?
That one was being kind of held separately through the town. The one I'm speaking of was for the solar panel contractor. They had a change order they submitted for added materials with comments that we got from the engineering consultant and my review. We cut that down by about $4,000 or $5,000, and they were agreeable to that. So they amended their invoice. And Michelle's working on getting that check cut and having the final payment signature on that as well.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, I was a little confused on that.
Ryan,
Thank
did we get all the stuff that the town needs to load up onto the website for the contracts?
Yes, so I'm in receipt of all of those. They did get a FOIA request for some certified payrolls for the library, which is unique. We usually don't see those a couple of years after the project's completed, but we did supply those to Diane, so she responded to that request. But all closeout documents I'm in receipt of, and I'm working with her about how she wants me to upload that. It's a large file, and it's all filed by division and by meeting, so it's nice and organized. So I'm just looking for a place to upload it so that everyone can reference that from the town.
Yeah, so if, Brian, if you can give us an index of, that file system, that'd be helpful.
Yep. What I might do, Steve, is I'll just share a client link to my server so that people can access that and download it off of our server, and they can use it however they need.
I'm
in addition, and then put it up on the town's repository wherever they need that.
Yeah, I think whoever needs to do that for the town would be good. I'm not going to download all that information on my computer.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So, but it would be nice to have the index of what documents are up there, meeting minutes, change orders, RFIs.
Correct. Yep.
Certified payrolls, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Good, okay. Anything else on the library? Any questions? All right, we'll move over to the Littleton High School. I did not get a update from Brian today, but
He's
I
with us,
assume
Steve.
I'm on,
that?
Steve.
Oh, you are? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, they started today kind of in earnest. They had the mason and the plumber there, working on some of the through wall flashings for the mason, and then the roof drainage for the plumber. And they are planning to Friday is when they're planning to deliver most of the roofing material. So they're underway now, and they feel like they're in good shape to maintain their original schedule that they provided. So.
Oh, so they're not 2 weeks behind?
No, they're
2 weeks behind, but they're going to maintain schedule.
yeah, they were a little slow getting started because their mason was held up. They're held up with the mason because of all the rain. But they've got them out there now. They're underway, and they feel like they can make up what they lost on the roofing side of things. Good.
So what's the substantial completion date now? Is it like August something?
Yeah, it was. They were substantially complete in the first week in August, and then they had a 2 week kind of punch list and review period to complete the punch list.
Okay, good. Any other questions on the high school roof? All right, senior center, Brian.
Yep, senior center, there's been a lot going on with our senior center. We're still in construction documents design phase. We've made some additional changes that I brought up to you guys at the previous meeting that are being implemented right now. Commodore is finalizing their cost estimate with those changes. And ultimately, we're on schedule with our design being finished towards the end of August. And therefore those documents would be going out to bid. I did distribute earlier today a document. If you don't mind, I'll just share my screen to run through it quickly. What this was the effort for the pre-qualification on here. These are the divisions that are mandated by Mass General Law that will need to pre-qualify so that they can bid on this project. Big thank you to Bartlett and to Mike Scaduto for their help with this. Taking their share of the work and getting this work completed to date. We received exactly 100 entries of statements of qualifications for all of the trades, which is a great turnout. And in total, we had to disqualify only 3. And so in the document that we distributed, we did put in the notes what the reason was. I will say Lorraine from my office, who headed this effort, if someone did not qualify, it's not for a lack of trying. She's very thorough. She goes above and beyond trying to get references, and then brings it to the committee if we feel as though that there's a red flag that needs to be raised. So if I can skim through that quickly, we pre-qualified 6 masons. The one that did not, we unfortunately could not get enough references obtained, and there was some questions with their experience with a project of this size. We pre-qualified 7 missed metal filed sub bids. We did disqualify Roman Ironworks due to their safety record. We did built into our request for proposals that we wanted a certain level of safety record, and if that was not achieved, we'd wanted to see why and what they would be doing in order to implement that to get down to an acceptable level. That was not received, and therefore we are recommending that we do not pre-qualify them.
What was that level? 1.0?
We said that if you were up over 1.2, that we reserve the right to disqualify you, and if you were that high, we wanted to know what you were doing in order to get back down to an acceptable level. That was not received. And the committee recommended that we did not proceed with them.
Okay, good. Yeah, 1.2 is pretty high.
Uh, 6 waterproofing and damping subcontractors, 6 roofing and flashing contractors. See, one of those is who's doing the roof with Brian Pasquale at the high school. 6 glass and glazing contractors, 9 tile contractors, 6 acoustical ceiling tile contractors. We had 6 resilient flooring contractors. We had 12 painting contractors. We did disqualify one, JM Painting, due to some unfavorable references that they put in their statement of qualifications. In doing so, they did not achieve the level that they needed for their references and for their overall score. We did have some internal discussions about that, and we had some experience both in my office and in others with some unfavorable experience with them. So we felt as though 12 painters gives them a good competitive pool, and we weren't hurting the town by disqualifying them. We had 1 elevator, which is not uncommon. We had 6 fire protection contractors, 8 plumbing contractors, 10 HVAC contractors. We did disqualify Arujo, who's a very reputable company, but almost all of their work is done in plumbing. So a lot of their references and past experience with the HVAC work didn't really hit the trigger in the threshold that we were looking for from an HVAC standpoint. And then lastly, we had 8 electrical contractors. So I think this is a really good pool. Like I said, my procurement manager was really impressed with the interest in this job, and hopefully that's reflected when we get filed sub-bid pricing back based upon the estimates that we've done to date. So fingers crossed with that. That'll be a big telling sign.
So Brian, this is really it is a very impressive response. Do you attribute some of that to the fact that Commodore is the contractor and people are not afraid of working with Commodore?
Absolutely, that is definitely a factor. I think that going CM at risk, the reputation of the construction manager. I also think it's a good reflection of the town. A lot of these are repeat submissions from the library as well. I think that they see the team that's working on this, and they see it as an intriguing job that they want to come in on, and the hope is that they come in hungry and sharpen their pencils when putting their price together.
I'm sure I'm sure FinCom would be interested in that.
Sure.
I think a couple of them are from police station and fire station too.
For sure.
Yeah.
I know. Just right offhand, Bob. Veterans was in the fire station. We had Wayne J. Griffin at the library. Plumbing, I believe we had a Rougeau at the fire station, and then the Masons we also pre-qualified that did the police station as well. So
Wasn't Sandilla too? Wasn't it Mason?
I did not do the pre-qual for Mason, but I put my nickel that Senandela put there. Yes, so they're on here as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were involved at the fire station as well. So that's our subcommittee's recommendation. With the PMBC's blessing, we'd like to take this list and put this into our contract documents. This will be in the front end. It'll be one of the first pages that a contractor sees when we use the online bidding service. A prospective bidder would open them up and see if they're on the list. We will notify all these people anyway, and then that will be the first box that needs to be checked in order to place a bid on this job.
So I think we need to take a vote on this, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So I would like to ask for a motion to approve this list of file subbidders for Vertex to advertise with the.
I have one question, Steve. For Brian, with the lack of response on the elevator scope, with only one respondent, does that necessarily mean that, do they know going in that they're essentially a sole source, or can somebody else still get involved?
No. So what that happens when there's only one that's pre-qualified, it opens it up to any qualified bidder in order to put a bid in on that. So in the event that only one bid does come in for elevators, I believe the Mass General Law is that we put that back out to bid just for that scope of work. If we do not receive bids again, then it becomes the ownership of the construction manager, where they would have to supply bids, and then we review that, and that would be an amendment to their GMP.
Okay.
Okay, so is there a motion to accept this, list?
Don't move.
I'll be done in a minute.
I'll second that motion, Steve.
Okay. All in favor, Bob?
Bob Rama, yes.
Brian?
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Bartlett?
Bartlett Harvey, yes.
Who else do we have here?
Steve Moore.
Well, Steve Moore, yes. Thank you, Bob. Motion carries. Anything else on the senior center, Brian?
Yeah, so last night I attended the finance committee. They to provide an update on some of the questions that they had about our schedule and where we sit on budget. In talks with the town administrator, we're also scheduling to give an update or a small presentation to the select board on the 24th of July. I found that out this morning. I've reached out to the team. I think it's in the best interest of the project that I bring a representative from Commodore and from LLB. I'm going to put some slides together to provide them a budget and schedule. Have LLB provide us some information about how we got to where we are right now, some of the space needs studies and the analysis that was done on other properties. And then also bring in Commodore to talk about their pre-construction effort, some of the value engineering efforts that have gone into this. And ultimately, I want it from a contractor or a construction manager to kind of discuss some of the market that we sit in right now, and some of the square foot cost challenges that we're having. And not that it's just a Littleton specific issue, but something that's happening across the board, and that what we're doing from a value engineering standpoint is getting us within the appropriation that we have.
And that follows on the conversation we had with FinCom last night. I would assume you want somebody from PMBC at that meeting?
Yeah, that was my next comment, is I think it would be prudent to have a member from PMBC there as well, just to kind of round out the team.
What night is that? Monday?
It's a Monday, the 24th.
So I think, Bob, between you and me, if we can coordinate, not quite sure what my schedule looks like on Monday, but you know, maybe you or I could plan to attend that.
Making myself a note right now.
Okay. We'll coordinate.
And what I tried to do, obviously it'll be before the next PMBC meeting, but when I'm confident with the slides that I put together, Steve and Bob, I'd like you guys to take a look at those as well to see if there's anything that you'd like in put in that too.
And I don't want to just limit it to Bob and myself. If anyone else wants to participate, certainly more than welcome. Bartlett, if you can attend, that would be. Now, these are in-person meetings, aren't they?
I believe they're in the library basement.
In the search room at the library.
Okay.
And they
I'm not-
usually start around 6:30, but you'd have to check the agenda as to what time.
Wow, that would be a real challenge for me. I get home at 6:45.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I'll be in town that day.
But we'll work it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And I'll let everyone know once Ryan told me he was going to put me on the agenda. When I find out where we are, I can distribute that too.
okay. I mean, if need be, I leave early.
Okay.
That Monday.
Thank you.
So anything else on senior center?
Nope, not tonight.
Member input on anything? Bob?
I'm all set, Steve.
Brian?
I'm all set as well, Steve. Thank you.
Bartlett?
I should say that Diane Crory contacted me and said that my term had expired. And I have to tell her whether I'm going to sign up again or not. So,
Well, not to pressure you, but please do. Wow.
I'm not sure what I contribute to this group, but the meetings are kind of fun.
Oh, sorry about that. No, you're a great asset to this whole committee. So if you have the bandwidth and the interest, certainly.
All right, I'll talk to Diane.
Okay. Now, Anthony, I can't remember his name now.
Ansaldi.
Yeah. No. He's
Ryan?
with the
Ryan,
cemetery committee. Anyway, cemetery committee wants to be on the agenda next week to talk about some of their Samarco, yeah, that's it. Thank you. To talk about the needs of the cemetery building over there. It seems like every couple of years something comes up that I think the last thing that we did there was a rooftop unit, and we did some stucco finish to repair some facade work a couple of years ago. So anyway, they have a list of items they want to bring up to us next week or next meeting. So that's all I've got. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Don't move.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
Bob
Bob,
Romley, yes.
Bartlett,
Bartlett, yes.
Brian,
Brian Piscola, yes.
and Steve, yes. Thanks for your participation. Have a great evening.